Make sure that the end caps are nice and snug. You can tap it if you'd like, and then lock it in place. From here, you can pick it up and put it into the machine. R matches with R on the machine. So that one end cap matches. You have your little landing spot here, and everything just kind of rolls back into place. I always leave the sticker on the roll of paper while you're putting it on your spindle so it doesn't expand on you. Once it's in, then you can remove it. If you guys want
You might want to come a little closer
Yeah.
for this next part.
to load the paper,
It's exciting.
if you look in the machine itself, you're going to see some rollers, and our leading edge of our paper are going to go over those rollers and straight down into the machine. So you can kind of hear them. Okay. We're going to take the edge of our paper, and typically you're going to do this from the middle portion of the printer. And we're just going to manually roll it down into place. It will only go so far, and then the machine takes it from you. If you look at the display right now, it's going to ask you what type of paper you're using. Typically, it's going to auto-detect that it's plain paper, but you always want to choose the plain paper setting because it's the best use of your ink. Okay? Press OK, and then you'll see the paper go out of the machine and back up a couple times. What it's doing is aligning our print margins to make sure that everything's nice and straight. If it is off, it will auto-correct it for you. On the off chance it were to eject the paper altogether, that means that one of our end caps is not snug. So you would just take it back out, tap it on the ground a couple times, put it back in, and go through the same steps. Okay? Does anyone want to try it? Not all at once.
We're gonna wait till we need it in 3 minutes.
There you go.
I'll try it.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So this is a way that you're going to learn how to eject the paper too. So there's a little lock on that side. It's like a brake, if you will. It's going to unlock the jaws that are internally in the machine. Unroll it, and then remove it. So if you want to grab it. Oh, first, sorry, I did not tell you this. We need to make sure that the brake is in a locked position towards you. That way it will accept it from you. If it doesn't, if you don't do that and it's open, what will happen is it's going to give you an indicator on the screen saying that it's open. In addition to that, the paper's just going to keep rolling out of the machine.
Oh, that's fun.
That's important. That will happen, I'm certain.
It stops.
Okay.
And it takes it from you.
All right.
Wow.
Now hit the OK button for the paper.
That's it.
And that should be it, and then it's just going to align it for us. Now this right here, it will operate open. However, we always recommend that you close this because it's a great dust cover. You don't want dust to accumulate on the surface of your paper, so just make sure that this is closed for you. So any questions on paper?
Yep.
Yeah.
It just remains forward.
All right. So we'll just wait for that to...
So the only time you unlock it is when you're loading paper?
When you are unloading paper and then loading again.
Okay.
So typically when you're going to do that is if you're using a different type of paper. Typically with this, you have your premium mat in there and you guys have 3 more rolls. Unless you were purchasing something like indoor banner material or a specialty photo type paper, that's when you're going to need to, if you want to swap and use a different type of paper, that's when you'll, unlock it and remove and replace.
Okay.
But other than that, I would just, keep it on there and let it go until it runs out of paper. Okay?
When it does run out of paper, like, there might not be enough to make the next poster, right? So then what's the process there? To be like, cut it off or pull it back or push it out one end,
Just unwind it, take it out,
pull it out the back way?
grab a new roll,
Yeah.
roll a new roll in.
Any other questions? Nope. Okay. So the next thing is going to be ink. Ink is located on both sides of the machine. So you notice that cyan, magenta, yellow, there's matte black and black over there. So there's 2 matte black and 1 black. You'll notice that it's solid right now. So solid red means that there's ink in every ink cartridge. You will need some ink in every single one of them for it to operate, okay? Once it's getting low, you'll get an indicator on the screen that says yellow is close to life. You don't have to change it at that moment, but I would make sure that I had that replacement on hand. Typically, you have anywhere from 10 to 20 posters from that time that you get that indicator, okay? When you open this up,
From the time you get the indicator.
from the,
Okay.
yes,
Yes.
yeah. you'll notice that they're solid right now, but the one that's low or out will start flashing red, so you know exactly which one needs to be changed. To change it, just simply pull up and pull out your cartridge, okay? The new ones are in cellophane. So in the cellophane, shake it in the cellophane, remove it, and then drop it in place and close it. There's no ribbon stickers or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about getting any ink on you. Then all you do is close it. Now they are all keyed for the appropriate slot, so you can't put cyan and matte black and vice versa. They will not fit, okay? And then we just simply close that. Right now you guys have about 2/3 full. What that means is that if I were only printing large posters with moderate saturation, I get about 200. A full set will give you about 300. Okay? So any questions on ink? All right. Down here you guys have this bin. So if you want to start printing and you don't want to stand here and catch everything as it comes off, it's going to cut and just drop down into that bin. When you're not using it, just simply close it. All right? Okay, so that's pretty much your printer itself, okay? And then we're gonna get to scanning. So if you look at your scanner, you'll notice that there are 4 sizes. There's a large banner, a mini banner, a large poster, and a small poster, and it has all the dimensions there as well. So green up here matches with the green button down here. I have all these samples for you guys, and these are for you to keep. You guys can do with whatever you would like, hang them up, or just keep them on hand. So this is going to be a large banner. 24 by 62.
That's large.
Okay, this is your mini banner. It's 9 by 24. So it's perfect for a door or above a door. You have your large poster, which is 24 by 31. Okay. And you also have a small poster option, which is just half of the large poster, it's just rotated. So it is 18 by 24. Okay.
Awesome.
All right, so from here, we want to make this into a poster. What I would say when you're scanning to print, just make sure it's the most clean, crisp copy as possible, because if there's any imperfections, it will come up on your poster. So just, it's okay.
Is everything scanned? There's nothing like digitally you can.
So you could print from a computer?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
we'll get to that in just a second.
Yep.
So we want to make this into a poster. What we're going to do is just put it in face down. Does not matter direction. What you want to do is just align to this arrow right here. And then do you want to print a large one or a small one? Okay, so all we're going to do is just simply press that button and release. And then it's kind of quiet when it first starts scanning, but you can hear it kind of moving around. And then it will get louder, so it's going to scan up and down. And then over on the display, the data light will start flashing green, and it will actually tell you that it's printing a small poster in the size. As soon as this is done scanning, if I needed to make another one, I could press a button, and it will scan that one and just add more to that job and just print and cut between all of them, okay? Is it going through?
Yeah.
So it's going through its final setup right now. Do you want to?
Yeah, sure. So this will only happen once. So
Okay.
you don't have to worry about this happening every time. Typical having the data light will flash and immediately just start printing. It takes about a minute and a half to get your poster from the pointer hitting click. That's about that. Depending on the size of the poster. This first time around, it's gonna basically clean the machine and just make sure it's in tip-top shape.
While that is going through that process, I will show you guys the difference between a poster and a banner. How they're created is a little bit different. So a poster is actually based on an 8.5 by 11, okay? Banner is actually based on half of an 8.5 by 11. So when you go and create, within Word, you can go in and change your margins. And then in PowerPoint and Publisher, you can actually change the slide size. When it's printed out, you're only going to see on half of the page. What we ask you to do is either fold it or cut it. Reason being is the scanner's calibrated to look for edge to edge. So if we put it, completely flat and it's going to read this whole thing, it's not going to come out as a banner. So this is for you guys to keep as well, and it has all the instructions here on how to create. Okay.
Banner hot dog bowl.
that was our original. Cool. So any questions on scanning to print? Nope, okay. So the question came, is it only scan to print? No, you can connect to a laptop, a desktop computer. We actually have this, oh, I guess we don't, it's over there. We'll connect it in just a second. You have a 10-foot USB cord that will be plugged in on the side, and then you would just take the other side and plug it into your laptop, or if you needed to move this to where a computer is, you could certainly move it. All you'll need is the print drivers. So you have different versions. So this is typically Windows 7 and newer, anything prior, and then you also have Mac for your Mac users, okay? You will need to connect to the printer and make sure it's turned on when you are communicating and loading the print driver. But as soon as that is loaded, you can print from essentially any program. You also have Poster Artist Lite. This is only for PC, but it's a great, simple poster and banner template software. It's a 4-step process. Step 1 is picking your template, 2, making sure you're going to print to this printer. Step 3 is creating force printing. Okay, cool.
Is it Canon drivers? Most of our computers don't have disk drives anymore.
Yes, I can send a link to the
Okay.
exact place that you need to go. And the nice thing is it pulls the operating system that you're using and tells you exactly what to download.
Perfect.
All right, so any questions? The last thing I will say, after not being used for about 5 minutes, it will go to sleep. What we ask is that you do let it go into that sleep mode. It's really not pulling much, if any, electricity. But the nice thing is it will wake itself up and do its own self-cleanings. And that's what's going to prolong the life of your print head, okay? Even for, if you're going to be gone for spring break, does the district make you turn everything off and unplug it? Okay. So if that's the case and that's your only option, turn it off, make sure that the printer goes dark, and then unplug it. When you guys come back, I would make sure and go ahead and not wait until the next time you have to make a poster, but actually when you come back, plug it back in, listen for the scanner. The scanner will start booting up. It'll make that squeaking noise, and then turn your printer on, and then you're ready to go. And then that will go ahead and give it that time to go through and do its own cleanings, okay? All right, and then for summer, is this room air conditioned?
No rooms are.
Okay. Then, so what we recommend will probably, if you won't, is the office, your front office?
It is for a few weeks.
Okay, and then everything, okay.
Uh-huh.
Then we can send you information on how to prep for summer,
Okay.
and do a cleaning to maybe remove the ink cartridges, because we don't want it to, get too hot
Yeah.
and then, affect your print head.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
problem that we run into is within the printer itself, there's these surgical lines, okay, and that's what runs from the ink to the print head.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can imagine if it sits in a very, very hot situation for an extended period of time, basically the ink in here will bake and dry up in the lines. And it's a big job to get all that fixed.
Yeah,
So we don't want to have that happen to you if you can avoid it.
yeah. I don't know how to avoid that though. I mean, the district, we're kind of at the mercy of
Sure.
the district.
Sure.
They do shut everything off at some point. Even my office, we're gone for 3 weeks, so.
And 3 weeks is probably not that big of a deal. I mean, we've had some roll this into a portable, or out there, and it heats up to 200 and something degrees in the portable, and just bakes. And so it's a big deal. But if it's relatively temperate, even if it gets up over 100 degrees, it's okay. It's probably going to be just fine.
Okay.
But we'd be remiss if we didn't mention it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm glad you did.
And we'll send prior to school ending, we send little, how to prepare for summer, how to prepare your printers for summer. So just know you'll be getting that. There is a user guide, so everything that I went over is in here. How to change our ink, how to change our paper. There's some troubleshooting information too. And then how to scan to print a poster and a banner. And you'll notice that there's a 1-800 number on the front. If you guys have any issues, you can always call our office. We are located in Dallas, so we're not very far. And there's always a live person to answer the phone and help as well. Okay. One thing I did not go over is our swatch book. So these are all the different types of paper that you guys can print on now, okay? There's a backlit material. What this is, it's kind of like movie poster material. If you were to apply this to an LED light, it illuminates through and just kind of stands out. We have some campuses that have those in the frames, and that's how they do their announcement. So if somebody walks in, they know exactly what's going on that month. There is a photo gloss material, so similar to what you get your pictures printed on currently. Photo mat or premium mat, it's your everyday use paper. That's what's in the machine there, and you guys have 3 more rolls of that. Photo satin. There's also an indoor banner material. If this is pulled on, tugged, you try to rip it, it's not going to tear. Okay. Canvas material, and then there's an outdoor banner material. It's very thick, and it has a UV protectant in it, so it's not going to fade in the harsh sun. But you can put grommets in it, in either of those banner materials to hang them up. Okay. Do you guys have any other questions?
How many posters about do each roll?
As you said, that's like 200. So does this
The-
get us 200, the paper as well, ish?
So you can do a couple different ways. So large posters, you're looking about 38 per roll, but we can double that if you're doing smaller posters. So it's going to be anywhere between 38 and 70-ish posters
Per roll.
per roll.
And there's 4 rolls, yeah.
Yeah. And then you have,
All right.
Okay.
Kids.